And gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. So I decided to play the tier 9 Italian tank destroyer. I haven't played it yet, actually. Obviously I didn't really review the whole tank. I went through the line as they were being released. The tier 10, the Minotauro, is a very, very good tank. The tier 8 version is pretty much, I've got a video coming out in the next couple of days, which I think could possibly be one of the strongest tanks in tier 8. And then you've got this. What is this tank like, and is it worth grinding? And when you get to it, is it worth skipping to get to the Minotauro, or is it worth just sticking it out and playing it until you get enough XP to get the tier 10? Now, obviously, I've only had a couple of games in this tank. So let's just have a look at how many games. 3. I've had 3 games in this tank. That is all I've had. Almost 3,000 DPM. Sorry, almost 3,000 average damage. So, you know, it's not bad. So, is it good? I mean, yes, it is. The whole line, I think, is good. Now, the only thing that you've got with this tank compared to the tier 8, the version, I think is so good, not only because the armor profile is really, really good, but you can change your gun. So you can use the auto reloader, or you can just use it as a single shot gun, which I will go through that in obviously the different video, which we will have a look at in the next couple of days. But this tank and the tier 10, you are unable to use a different gun. So you've got 2 tier 9 guns, and both of them have this reserve shell. Now, obviously, the first one you do lose a bit of DPM, you lose a bit of penetration, which is expected. It is expected because it is the stock gun. But once you get to this gun, you got to remember you've got 3 shells, and this is a unique thing about these tanks because it's the first to have them. Of course, we got the Caro as well with the same thing, which is a medium, but the DPM is a bit higher. So this one and the tier 10 version, it is absolutely vital you don't use that reserved shell. So you've got 3 shells in your magazine, and you've got to remember to try not use that last shell, because if you do use the last shell, your DPM dramatically drops. So you'd always try to keep that 1 shell in there. You have to, unless there is a tank in front of you that is a 1 shot. Then of course it might be better using that last shell. So your penetration is 259 on your AP. Now, I'm not sure why we're not running it with the calibrated shells. Any autoloader I usually run with calibrated shells. So let's just put calibrated shells on there and we will see. So before we get to that, the armor is amazing on these tanks. They really are. The tier 8, the tier 9 and the tier 10, absolutely beautiful armor, which again, we are going to look at the tier 8 in detail in a different video. So the turret is standard is 265. Very, very nice indeed. But not only that, but the whole armor has 245. Very, very nice. So 1,603 DPM. So the DPM is awful. The DPM really, really is awful. But of course, you can get that DPM a lot higher if you don't use that last shell. This is the DPM, this is all calculated by using the 3 shells, reloading, using the 3 shells. So do not use that last shell by all means at all. Don't use it. So the shell reload time between each shot is 3.5 seconds. Now, again, if you only shoot 1 shell, you've got to wait 10 seconds. So if you shoot 1 shell, then you've got the intra clip, the 3.5 seconds, and then you've got 10 seconds. So that's 13 seconds between each shell, which isn't so bad. If you use 2 shells, you've then got 11 seconds reload, or 11.7 seconds reload, plus the 3.5 on your intra clip reload. But if you use that final shell, you're waiting almost double the time, 21 seconds. Almost 22 seconds just to reload that 1 shell. So if you shoot all 3 shells, then you've got to wait and you need to then reload all 3 shells. You've got to wait almost 40 seconds, well, just over 40 seconds for your entire magazine to be reloaded again. So yeah, do not shoot that last shell unless you are absolutely certain you need to use that last shell. So you've got 3 shells in the magazine. Penetration is 272 on your AP, 359 on your heat, and 72 on your HE. So penetration is absolutely fine. You've got a 400 alpha gun on your AP, 390 on your heat, and 640 on your HE. So if you can get your HE out, do get that out, because that is a nice alpha. That is a nice amount of damage with your HE. And then it might actually, if you've got the HE, if you've got a grill or something in front of you, a waffle that isn't running spool liner, or if you've got the back of a Leopard 1, then yes, it might actually be worth you using all 3 shells with HE, as long as you can guarantee the pen, because you might be able to take out a Leopard 1 just with your magazine. So it all depends on the situation. So you've got a 4.5 second aim time, 0.353 on your dispersion, and you do have a very nice, very nice 13 degrees of gun depression. That is very, very nice. In fact, that's what the highest in tier 9 and even tier 10. So your forward is 35 kilometers per hour. So it's not the quickest of tanks. It isn't the quickest of tanks, but it does work. So this is now my 3rd game. This was my 3rd game in this tank. So how do you play the tank? So I would not play this tank as a tank destroyer. Honestly, I wouldn't play it as a tank destroyer. The turret traverse is very, very slow, so do be very, very careful of that. And again, it's not the quickest of tanks. But the way I want to play this, I want to get into a position where I can absolutely utilize the gun depression and the turret armor. So Canyon, there's only one place for that, and that is the middle. Considering the enemy only have 1 medium, we only have 1 medium, I'm thinking, you know what? I really want to go to the middle. If I can go to the middle, it's a tier 8 game. If I can get to the middle, then nobody, absolutely nobody, will be able to penetrate me. And with the scepter there as well, he's got a decent turret armor, so we should be able to control the map. As long as we can control this hill, we should be able to control the map. So obviously, I'm going to ignore the Panther. I want to go for this KPZ 70 because he's more dangerous. Of course, if I need another shot, I will go for the Panther. So now I've got 1 shell left. Do I want to use that, or do I want to reload it? And you can see me looking around. Of course, if I can take out that Panther with this shot, I will, because it will clear a tank. But right now, I'm not really needing to use this this shell, so I'm just going to wait. So now I've got 2 shells loaded. Of course, I'm going hold down, and I want these guys to look at me. Of course, I do have a hatch that they will be able to pen. Now, watch this ISU 152. I have no idea what he's doing. He's just going to push forward. That's going to make the stupid decision. Here we go. Watch his hit points. Bang, bang. See you later. See you later, ISU. Stupid decision there. So now that is 1 tank down and a big alpha tank out of the way as well. So that's not good for us. So the scepter, or scepter, however you want to freaking say it, is next to me, and you can see we're bouncing everything. Like everything that comes our way, we are bouncing, and that was actually quite a nice snapshot to clear that Panther 8.8. So now we've got 1 shell reloaded. I really want to go for this guy, and I will take the shot if I absolutely need to, but the Scepter is there to take the shot. So again, the SU, the reason I'm going to ignore the SU 101 at the moment, because where he is, he ain't going to be able to do jack. He's got 0 degrees, literally like 3 degrees of gun depression. He is in the worst possible position for that tank. So he can stay there. By all means, he can stay there for as long as he freaking wants, because he ain't going to be able to do jack. So we're just going to wait, and we want to take the shot on the waffle if we are able to. So as long as the waffle moves, if he starts moving, then of course I will push in to this guy, just like I'm going to do now, because the Scepter dies. So now I've got 1 shot. I've got 1 shell left. Do you know what? I'm going to use that shell because it clears a tank. And then I can back up, and this waffle no longer can do anything to me. So we've got 820 block damage so far, 2.8k damage. It is a 4 versus 3. So I mean, we can still lose this. We are losing on supremacy points. We can still lose this. So at the minute, you can see I'm still reloading this shell. Do I go for the waffle here, or do I just reload? So I've decided he's on the run. I'm just going to go for the reload and try to cut this guy off. And what I mean about try to use as much HE as you can, I mean, this guy is about to see that. So he's there. We're going to use the HE just before he goes out of sight, and we do get a nice amount of damage. Now, the turret traverse, what I stated earlier being so bad, is actually almost going to cost me my life against this waffle. Like, I didn't realize, I've only had 3 games in this tank. I didn't realize, like, look at this now. I just can't get it around. I cannot get the turret around in time for him, and he does shoot me on his way. And again, I'm going to come around this corner, and my turret is just not turning. So if he was looking at me there, it would have been game over. But stupidly for him, he decided to back up, and we did manage to get the kill. So it's now a 3 versus 1. Even though that guy's on 500 hit points, we can lose. We can still lose. All 3 of us are a one-shot. Maybe I can take a shot from the WZ114, but, you know, we can still lose this. But I don't think it's going to happen. We all push together. I would happily sacrifice myself for someone else to get him. But no need. I did manage to get the kill. So that game we got 3.8k damage. We blocked 820 damage. Our 3rd game, and obviously not many people are playing this, and it was a nice, easy mastery. But we still got almost 1400 base XP, so not bad at all. So yeah, the CC1 Mark II, very nice tank for what it is. You do have to play it to its advantages. You got to remember 13 degrees of gun depression. You got a very nice turret, but whatever you do not use that last shell. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on the tier 9 Italian tank destroyer, the CC1 Mark II. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I will catch you all soon. Goodbye. With